Hi, I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're working on our Halloween candy pail. This is a lot of fun. It's bright and festive. It's going to be perfect for your little trick-or-treaters, so let's get started. We're going to pick up a plastic tote, and I picked these up at the Dollar Tree, but any of the dollar stores or maybe Walmart would have them, but we want the kind with the circles above and below so we can put our tool into that. But if you have a little person that loves bright colors or a little girl, there would be nothing wrong with putting these on a pink or purple one or green one as well. So don't think about just orange. We need two different colors of tulle, and you need at least 3 yards of them. We're going to be doing 10 pieces of 10 feet long, so each color. I picked up these two colors at Walmart for $1. The glitter is about half, usually get about 10 compared to the 20 yards, but these are in the seasonal section, not usually in the craft section. I found this really cool Halloween tool with glitter on it, and I found this at Walmart. They had all kinds of colors, the orange and the purple for Halloween as well, so you can use that. But I decided for this one, I'm going to go ahead and use the two tools. So the fastest way to cut tulle is not with scissors. It is to use your paper cutter. Just be really careful, and I want 10-inch pieces, so just lay it down. Just be very careful with your blade. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut 10 pieces of my orange and 10 pieces of my black. Make sure you count your tote to make sure how many holes you have, because you may have more or less than I did. Let's not assume that you have 20. Another item that they had this year, and these used to be very expensive when they first came out, is the mesh tubing. And it was from $8 to $12 for a bag full. And I found this at the Dollar Tree this year, so you can use it. On this one, I used the 4 different colors. They had an orange or a gold, a green, a black, and a purple. But on this one, I'm just going to use the orange and black. And I'm going to cut 10 of each one of those. Now the tubing stretches out more, so I'm only going to do 9 inches of this, and this wiggles around more, so I'm probably going to end up cutting these with the scissors. And I'm just going to lay these right on my paper cutter to cut. If you're more comfortable doing it with a ruler, that is fine as well. If you don't find the mesh tube at the Dollar Tree or any of the dollar stores, check Walmart. They've got it down to about $1.97, so it's really come down in price, and I really like it. I think it's really fun for the Halloween time. But when you're cutting these, don't pull these out, just leave them kind of shrunk up. And we're going to cut 10 of those like I said, and then we'll start putting it all together. We're going to alternate our colors, so if you're using the orange tool, we're going to use the black tubing mesh, and we're going to stick this through the hole, the second hole, and pull it through the top one down through the hole. And try and get that nice and tight. And you're going to notice here, this is where your tubing is going to stretch out. And you want to keep the tubing on top as much as possible for that to kind of show through. So we've got that there. So now we're going to do the orange with the black. Fun thing is trying to get this to keep from sticking in all your clothes and all the other fun stuff. Again, we're going to stick that through the second hole, pull the tails through, and nice and tight. And that one did a lot easier there. Just make sure you try to keep your ends even. I've done that, and if one's a little bit longer, don't worry about it. Just trim it off. It's not a big deal. You don't want them longer than your tote, that's for sure. So I'm just going to keep working these all the way around the top of our tote here. So just going through the second one, and once you get a groove, it's going to be a lot easier. It's a lot easier when you're doing it head on, not doing it sideways too. And we will meet you when we get these all the way around. I finished going all the way around. The one thing I forgot to tell you is don't pull these so hard that you break them. And here you can see why. So I'm going to tell you how I fixed it. I took a tiny piece of scrap material, just big enough to go around our hole here, and I'm going to hot glue front and back. And because it's material all the way around, it's going to hold it in place. So you want to make sure it's all the way around, just not that one little spot. And then go ahead and put your tool and mesh tubing into that hole. And that should cover that right up. You shouldn't be able to see that, and you should be able to continue right on. So I always tell you, if I do it, you might do it. So that's the reason I leave these things in here. Now that we've got our repair done, we're going to use our Halloween garland to fill in all the holes to keep the candy from sliding out. And whatever Halloween garland you want, this also adds some sparkle and everything to it as well. And I'm going to start on the side. And the reason we didn't do it before we did the top part, it's harder to do. And if you thought it was the other way around, then go ahead and do that the other way around. That's totally up to you. We've got to run all these guys through each hole. So just remember that as you're working. And we want to leave a piece about that big inside. So we'll make sure so we can tie off to that piece when we're all done. So we've gone every other hole all the way around. So now I'm going to jump up one. And what I found is by doubling this over and just applying the middle, you get that through twice as fast. And this has bats on it, so if you want to keep the bats on it, try and go a little bit slower. Now what I'm going to try and do though on this one now is I'm going to go the opposite of what I did before. So where this one goes over, we're now going to do the opposite. So I'm going to go ahead and go, there are going to be 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to finish the last one right under these guys. So we'll go ahead, and I should have enough garland. My garland I did pick up at the Dollar Tree, so we only paid $1 for it. And I'm going to finish this up and talk to you when I get to the other side. Now that we've gone through all 3 of those, we're going to take the ending and the tail, because they're wires, and we're just going to twist them together or tie them, whatever you're comfortable with, and cut off any remaining garland. And that should keep that in place. Any of these bats, or if you use something different that you want to tack through, you can tack through so that they show up more in the middle. That's totally up to you. And then just kind of rearrange your tool all nice and neat again. And then we're going to go ahead and do our ribbon. So this is our center one, and we're going to start here and end here. And I just picked up an inexpensive ribbon, whatever kind you want to use. And you can tie a bow or you can tie it in a knot. That is totally up to you. So we're just going to feed this around and make sure that you leave enough tail. We're going to go in our first one, and then we're going to come out and we're going to skip one over. So we're going to skip this guy and come in the next one, but I'm also going to string a spider, just for fun, a spider ring on the ribbon. And I'm going to do one on each one that I do like that. And actually these guys have got a split here, so we'll just set them on as I run it through. So once we go through here, we're going to skip that guy, come back in, we're going to come out the next one, and we want another spider ring. And skip one hole, come out the next one, and go all the way around till we come out this hole right there. Make sure you keep these ribbon pieces nice and fluffy. So we entered here, we're going to exit here because we did every other one. Otherwise you would have them here and that would be great. We're going to tie the knot so it's not going to matter. It'll move it over towards the middle anyway. So go ahead and get that knot tied. And you can use whatever Halloween ribbon you have or want, or it could be orange or black or purple, green. Get that nice and tight. I do like the ones with the ribbon in it because then I can control that a little bit. Trim our ends. And then I'm going to put one of the skeletons, and these are the skeletons I find at the Dollar Tree. They come on a 4-pack. They have black and a kind of a natural color. And I just took the garland as it was, cut the strings, and I'm going to tie this guy just over the top of the bow. Just in a knot right there on the inside. And probably just going to let his strings kind of hang down, or you could tuck them in behind some of the other items as well. That cute? All ready for your little trick-or-treaters. Think of your kids and your grandkids and how excited they're going to be when they get this fun Halloween sparkly candy pail and they're off on their adventure of trick-or-treating. Be safe. Happy Halloween from Miriam Joy.